Hi guys. I got a condenser fan motor here, and it's not working. We got to replace the motor. This is for an AC, and I don't have a camera guy either, so we're gonna do this a little differently. So I got all my parts here. I got the old motor, I got the new motor, I got my fan puller, and some tools. Um, so we're just going to get started here, and I'm going to show you what to do to get it off of here and put the new one on. So let's do the fan blade first. Alright, so we're going to start with the fan blade first. You got a little square nut on it that you got to break loose. Break that loose and take it. Go ahead and take it all the way out. So now I got it. It's all the way out. You want to put this in a safe place so you don't lose it. So now we're going to take the fan blade off. I got my puller. You can buy this online if you're a do-it-yourselfer at home. When you put this on, you have a hole right here for that screw, that set screw we just took out. Make sure that these don't line up into that hole, or else you'll mess your hole up. So you gotta open this up all the way so that shaft will come up inside here. I'm just going to go ahead and put my vice grips on it. These get a little stiff, so we'll probably put some PB Blaster on it after using them for so long. Alright. So now we're going to put this down. We got to unscrew it a little bit more. Alright, you want to be touching the base of the fan blade here. Make sure that you're not in line with that screw hole, and then you can tighten these. Kind of like doing a tire, you want to tighten them all up about the same. That way this rod will lay in center on that shaft. So once you get hand tight, always do one good crank on it. Alright, so now what we can do is we can start to screw this down. It'll push this rod down while pulling that fan blade off this shaft. If you have a tough one, you can get another pair of vice grips and hold it right here. Luckily, this one's going to come off easy, which does not always happen. A lot of times you got to soak these down with PB Blaster, let them set, and even then you're sometimes lucky to get them off. If you can't get the fan blade off, you can always order a new one. Just make sure you get the same pitch and the same rotation. it's off. So now you want to take the puller off the blades here. So you got that off. What you can do now is that set screw we took out, put that back in so you don't forget. And then just set this aside for now. Not ready for that. Now we're going to take the motor off, which you got to flip it over. And you generally have four bolts holding it on. You can use a crescent wrench, sockets, pliers, whatever. Go ahead and keep these just in case you need them. This motor was replaced once before, that's why you see this wire right here. It's just a ground wire. And that's because the motor they used to replace it was a universal. Alright, around back here, once you got the motor off, there's this piece. It's a piece of conduit for the wires. Just pull the wires out of it. And this motor is now junked. You can scrap it, get a little bit of money out of it. Now this is an OEM part, so this is a direct replacement for this brand. This is not a universal motor, which, like I said, the one that they had on there was. So what you're going to do is you got the 4 posts. You put them, which I'll show you. On here, you can see there's several holes, which makes it nice. So they had a universal motor. They had to use these holes. We should be able to use these holes. You want to make sure your cord is pointed where the conduit is. And feed that wire through there. Now on the universal motor, you will have a couple different wires. I don't know why this thing's tangled for nightmare. So you'd have, like that universal motor had a yellow, black, or a black instead of purple, yellow, and it had 2 brown. One brown had a white stripe on it, the other brown. So the 2 brown wires go on a capacitor, which I'll grab real quick. So you got 2. So some of them will hook up to this, both brown wires, one here, and that will run your motor. Now on your motor, it will tell you the capacitor for this motor. If you look on the sticker here, it's a 5. It's a 5 microfarad. MFD is what you want to look for. So you'd want this capacitor to be a 5. This is a dual. So this means it's 35 for the compressor, 5 for the fan. And the way you'd hook up a universal motor like they had was the brown wire here, the other brown wire on common. Now with this motor, you have the purple, which goes to the defrost board, and their yellow on that universal went to the defrost. The black and their black both goes to one side of the contactor. And then on this one, you have 1 brown, they had 2. So the 1 brown goes to the fan on your capacitor. Feed this through here. Line our studs up. Our holes. Now you want to make sure that that conduit is tight. You don't want any wires loose because those fan blades will hit it. So once you line it up, you're going to flip it over. Okay, and then those nuts that we saved, we're going to put them on. Now if these nuts are just too far gone, rusted, just get some new ones from the hardware store. And you want them tight because This is all this is going to vibrate on when they have the unit on. And if you don't have them tight, you can put locking washers on it. But if you don't have it tight, it's going to work itself loose. And just cause you issues.
How you coming in here?
I'm doing a video. You want to be in the video with me? Oh, come on, Randy.
No, that's all right. I got other fish to fry.
You don't have any other fish to fry.
I'll tell you about that in the video, though.
Well, you can tell me about it now. Alright, so the motor's on, the wires are in. So now we got to put the fan back on. Now this part with the set screw is always going to be on top here. It's not going to be down. It's always going to be like this. And on your shaft, you'll have a flat edge. It's a round shaft, and one side it's flat. That set screw goes on the flat side. So you'll slide this down, and usually I use a finger width from the base of the fan blade to the motor, and then I'll hand tighten it. Once I hand tighten it, then I'll give it a little, not too tight because I'm going to spin it and I want to make sure it's not hitting anything. You don't want it rubbing. So it's not rubbing. So we're going to go ahead and give it one more turn. Just to make sure it's tight. As my pliers slip off. This is how you get busted knuckles. Alright, so we're good and secure. It's quiet. So we're not rubbing or hitting anything. So now we're going to go and pop it on. That'll do it for this video. I may do a second video of just showing how to put this on the condenser and hook the wires up. So be on the lookout for that if that's some information that you guys need.